hook line breathing with a visor hold. With this, before we even worry about the visor, there are some established, some contacts that we're looking to establish to really sort of create a good position to start from. In terms of our feet, we're trying to maintain a heavy heel pressure. We want to sort of think of the foot as requiring 4 points of contact: the inside edge of the heel, the outside edge of the heel, the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe. All four must stay down. We're just looking to bias our pressure towards the inside edge of our heel as we do this exercise. The back side of your pelvis, there's something called your PSIS. If you were to sort of run, find your pelvic crest, run down the back side of it, you'll find there's a prominent bony protuberance that you'll run into as you go down toward your tailbone. That also is a bony contact that we're trying to establish in this position. Your rib cage between your shoulder blades and your spine, and then the base of your skull. The 4 points of contact throughout the body that we're trying to gain here. A lot of these ones up the chain are established, or we get heavier by using our feet to help sort of press ourselves into the ground and sort of slide ourselves up. So if I'm in this hook line position, my knee bend will be determined by the position where it feels easiest to find those points of contact and maintain that heaviness through the heel. So if I'm too close, it'll be harder to get heavy through the heel. If I'm too far, it'll be hard to get pressure through my forefoot. So we're looking sort of for the Goldilocks effect, that just right kind of feeling. From here, I want to apply a pressure straight down into the ground so that I can get heavy through the heels. And then I want to feel as if with that pressure, by pushing down, I'm going to try and push myself to slide myself up the ground. And so it'll feel a bit like I'm sort of dragging my skin. And by doing that, I'm going to find that I can get heavier on those points at the back of the pelvis that we pointed out before. And I can get a little bit heavier through my upper back and my head. To get that rib cage contact, we need to produce a little bit of a reaching action, which will make me even heavier up there. But for the meantime, by creating that skin drag, I'll get heavier throughout the system, which is a good starting point. From here, I want to make sure that my tummy is nice and soft, so we're not trying to force out back into the ground. Again, it's a soft tummy. This pressure and heaviness is established by our feet. And now we're going to try and create a reach where my upper back can feel heavier. And you can play around with this. You want to think this reaching motion is done with little effort. If I squeeze too hard, I tend to sort of shrug and get behaviors that I'm not looking to induce. So we just want to think at the moment, if I play around with my elbows, reaching them up towards the ceiling and back down towards the ground, you'll feel your shoulder blades move around a little bit, and you'll feel as you reach them up a little bit higher that there's a heavier feeling on the rib cage between that space between your spine and your shoulder blade. So that'll give you sort of a sense of how we can get a little bit heavier through that upper back. And again, the head itself, I will feel, one of the best ways to establish how effective I'm being with my push through the ground is that if I feel like I'm sliding or getting that skin dragging effect on the base of my skull or around my head, I'm getting heavier on the parts of my skull that I want to. And to get movement here, I've had to also create that skin drag elsewhere up the system to get there. The visor position itself is we're just going to shield our eyes. And then from here, I'm going to play around with my elbows positions to try and sort of establish where I feel that heaviest pressure and the most space between my shoulder blade and spine, while still feeling like I can freely rotate my neck. So that just involves a little bit of play to sort of establish for the individual with their archetype, their ISA construct, the helix, where's best suits them. But once I've got this, I'm trying to hold all of that together as I take some nice long silent breaths in through my nose and nice long silent breaths out. So I'm maintaining this push through my foot. I've got this nice reach to keep my upper back nice and big, and then I'm holding this position as I take these nice breaths. Now key is on our exhale is to maintain position. So we want to sort of think that as we fill ourselves up, we're maintaining, or we create a bigger position, a better reach, more space in the pelvis. And we want to think that rather than letting everything collapse on the breath out, that we're maintaining the position of the reach that we've gained on that inhale to take advantage of it on the subsequent inhale.